Hi, I'm Chandler Samuels,
Hi, I'm Jacob Hallberg.
and today we are in Cecil and we are doing quiz 4.
So, just to start off, I'm going to start answering number one, which is a company wants to improve the accessibility of its online product catalog for blind visitors. I can advise them for what design actions to take according to the following guidelines, respectively. So, guideline 1.1 is text alternatives, which is essentially the product catalog can be read audibly for the user. Some ideas that we had were using a simpler language to summarize the product audibly, and then we could also send blind consumers braille to read product information, and we could connect with other companies that have electronic braille technology. And then for guideline 1.4, distinguishable text between like the background, the foreground, and how we could do this. Some ideas were if there's any audio on the web page, plays automatically for more than 3 seconds. Either a mechanism is available to pause or stop the audio, or a mechanism is available to control the audio volume independently from the overall system volume audio level. Otherwise, users can say start or stop to control the audio with voice recognition. And that's about it. And then for number 2, Chandler will answer that one.
Yeah, so the two main differences between contextual inquiry and cooperative inquiry is one deals with researching on people and one deals with researching with people. So contextual inquiries combine classical in-depth interviews with an observation of the user in the actual context of use. They are suitable methods to understand the user's needs and requirements and to reveal environmental influences on the interactions with a product. The things we can figure out with contextual inquiries are how do the users use the product under real conditions, where and in which situations do the problems occur, and contextual inquiries are especially useful when the environment has a strong influence on the use and cannot readily be simulated in a lab. Now, cooperative inquiry emphasizes the idea that to research with people rather than research on people. Cooperative inquiry is a way of working with other people who have similar concerns and interests like yourself in order to understand your world and make sense of your life and develop new and creative ways of looking at things and learn how to act to change things you may want to change and find out how to do things better. Cooperative inquiry creates a research cycle among 4 different types of knowledge. These knowledges are propositional knowledge, practical knowledge, experiential knowledge, and presentational knowledge. Moving on to question number 3, I can explain the difference between feedback and a visible system status. So a visible system status is used to engage the user with an interface. The system should always keep users informed about what is going on through appropriate feedback within reasonable time. One example of visible system status is the use of a loading bar. You'll have Apple has the spinning wheel, the colorful spinning wheel. Microsoft has the dots that follow each other, and then you also just have like regular status loading bars that you might see on a Linux operating system during boot time. And then so that's visible system when it shows the user. When it provides information to the user about what's going on. Now, feedback is when the information provided from the visible system. The information provided by the visible system status is known as feedback. Feedback to the user comes in many forms. The user interface responds to actions. The system reacts and produces output. Feedback is used to engage and explain and can improve your satisfaction within the user interface. Feedback can change a confusing experience to a pleasant experience that teaches you how to actually use the system.
So moving on to question 4, which is when my manager is contemplating installing surveillance cameras, I can explain to my manager that there are political consequences. So just off the start, the ethical implications of installation of security cameras inside an office are directly related to the privacy of the individuals, companies, employees. Surveillance installation can create a positional power between the manager and the employees. Personal conversations, entered passwords on the keyboard can be captured from a camera, and private moments are all captured directly through the surveillance cameras and can create a feeling of insecurity and anxiety. Employee trust and respect are integral aspects of an employee workspace, and all of which are undermined through surveillance cameras. There's also an argument that personal data is private property, and a breach of privacy through surveillance cameras are an infringement of property rights, given that each of the individual's property, individual moments are their own property. I'm also going to go and answer question number 5, which is I can describe what Fitts' law is meant to predict and explain in terms in the Fitts' law equation. So, Fitts' law is a predictive model that takes into account the distance between the pointer and the button that they want to point to, or some certain part of the program they want to target, and it predicts the time needed to rapidly move and select that specific thing. It's ideal in HCC as it utilizes the movement time, index of difficulty, amplitude, target width to predict the accuracy of the user to point to a certain thing. And the equation takes in all these different things, like I just mentioned. It uses the movement time, index of difficulty, amplitude, target width, and it does predict that accuracy.
And lastly, for question number 6, I can give an example of how Apple as a company pays attention to accessibility. If you notice on a lot of the new iOSs, they have dictation software that helps people who are blind be able to basically screen readers. They provide display accommodations for people who might be colorblind. They offer assistive touch for people who might not be able to have the ability to use their fingers. And then they also offer things like LED flash alerts. They provide support for MFI hearing devices. So Apple's doing a lot, and they pay attention to accessibility and pay attention to the user and how the user. They try to provide good solutions for all their users to provide a better product. So overall, this was a great class, and yeah, had a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you.